What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Ugo Strange one more time. So, I've been thinking about something. As you all know, the trailer for Paranormal Activity 3 was released not too long ago, and looks pretty good. Looks very good, actually. Now here's the thing, a lot of people love the Paranormal Activity series, and a lot of people hate the Paranormal Activity series. There really hasn't been much middle ground. That is, of course, until I came along. You see, the thing is with me about the Paranormal Activity series is, well, let me start over. I saw the first Paranormal Activity movie in theaters, and I didn't hate it, but I didn't exactly love it either. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, you're one of those people who say, oh, that movie's boring. Nothing happened in it. You like gore movies and slasher flicks. No. My reason for not liking the first Paranormal Activity movie is because the Micah character, Micah, I can't remember how exactly you say his name, was a total douchebag. And that's the thing going into movies like this, is that if something like a particular character disengages you out of the movie, it makes it really hard to enjoy. You see, I appreciate the idea of Paranormal Activity. I really like movies like that try to, instead of scaring you visually, will try to scare you psychologically. But in this case, it failed, at least with me, because the boyfriend character was just such a douchebag. I keep coming back to this. He was my main problem for not enjoying that movie. Just to reiterate, it wasn't the lack of action or gore or blood or any of that. I actually thought the effects in there were fantastic. I actually thought a lot of the things in the movie were cool. Not scary, cool. Like the scene when she gets dragged out of the room, I thought that was freaking awesome. The invisible footprints, freaking awesome. The burning Ouija board, freaking awesome. But from a movie perspective, the boyfriend was the thing that kept me from enjoying the movie completely. For starters, it was just his basic need to constantly exploit his girlfriend. I understand if you're living in a house where supernatural things are happening, that's different. But these things are specifically happening to her. And she is psychologically tormented by this. And instead of consoling her and comforting her through this, you want to make some videos about it and catalog it. Even still, when they finally get the ghost guy there, who tells them that they're not dealing with the ghost, you're actually dealing with a demon, and, you know, instructs her to call a demonologist, which I don't know why he didn't instruct them to call a preacher or something, you know, because Christianity, demons, they kind of go together. But no, the ghost guy instructs them to call a demonologist, a demon expert, a person who deals with this kind of stuff expertly, and instructs them to call them. But instead, Micah decides that he's going to get a couple of books from a bookstore, look it up on Google, and suddenly he's well equipped to battle a demon. Douchebag! And what makes it even worse is just the fact that he keeps second-guessing Katie throughout the entire movie with this, oh, how do you know? How do you know it can be invisible? How do you know it's listening to us right now? How do you know? And that is just the weakest defense ever applied to anything ever. When someone says, how do you know? Stop listening to them immediately. And don't even get me started on him actually buying a Ouija board, despite the fact that the ghost guy, who, remember, does this for a living, told them that getting a Ouija board would invite the thing in, would only make it more aggressive. And he buys a Ouija board and he's acting like it's no big deal. Look, I could see if they had no reason for believing any of this. Like, if this was just suddenly happening and, you know, they just get a Ouija board just to deal with it, but no, this is happening, this is real. This guy who does this for a living is telling you not to do this because it will make it worse, and he goes and does it. And acts like it's no big deal, acting like he's the victim here, when really, Katie's the one suffering. He can leave that house anytime he wants and nothing will ever happen to him. But Katie's the one suffering, he gets a Ouija board, therefore making her suffering worse. Douchebag! So that was my reason for not liking the first film. The second film I didn't bother seeing just because I was so frustrated with the first. Keep in mind, I only said I was frustrated with the first, but I did enjoy it. I did like a lot of the aspects of the movie. I really did enjoy it. It didn't scare me. It wasn't nowhere nearly as scary as the advertisement made it out to be. Then again, what movie is if you believe the hype? So the second movie remained unwatched for me for a long time, and I still haven't seen it, which is getting me to the point of this video. Thank you for, you know, sticking with me and keeping up with this. I'm getting to a point here. With the trailer for the third movie, which, as I said before, looks damn good, I'm actually thinking of getting back into Paranormal Activity. And considering, you know, I've only have the 2 movies to watch, because I need to watch one again just to refamiliarize myself with the mythology, and then the second one, it's as good a time as any to get back into the series. And I am planning on seeing the third one in theaters, like I did the first one. The second one I guess I'm just gonna have to rent. But yeah, now, like I said before, I don't plan on being scared by any of these movies. Although the third one looks like it actually could scare me. But no, it's just there's something about the Paranormal Activity series that I'm really trying to understand. Because a lot of people will say that they're absolutely terrifying, and there are some people who just find them stupid and idiotic, and there doesn't seem to be much middle ground, except for me. I seem to be the only person who can say I wasn't terrified by it, but they're still good movies. And I say they're good movies because I appreciate the idea of it. I appreciate the whole lost footage ideology. I really like that, even though Hollywood now is beating that, you know, beating that into the ground. I still like it for what it is. For a style of filming that can be utilized in a different way, that can be presented in a different fashion. I still like that very much. But the movies just aren't scary. They're just not. At least for me. They're just not. Like, not at all. And I could tell you why, but that gets into another discussion, and I suppose I'll probably write a blog about it or something. But, because that's not a discussion for here. But, you know, it's just, they're just not scary to me. They're just not. Like, not at all. But they're still good movies, and I really want to know what it is that people find so terrifying about these movies. Not really a question I should ask, too, because if you think about it, scared is just really a personal thing. You know, what may scare you doesn't scare somebody else, etc., etc. There are only a few things universally scary. But, you know, it's just one of those things that I'm curious about as to what is so scary about this scenario. And like I said before, I have my own reasons for not being terrified at all by any of this, even if it was actually happening. Because, again, I have my reasons, and this is not the place to get into that. I'm starting to repeat myself, so I'm going to end this video, here. And I'm going to try to get my hands on Paranormal Activities 1 and 2, watch those, give you a review of them, and just let you know what I think about the series, and then the third one, and just kind of do a recap review of just parts 1, 2, and 3. What worked, what didn't work, what failed, what, you know, succeeded, and tell you if I was scared or not. That'll do it for me. I'm out. Peace.